So in this segment we are going to discuss about first normal form. So part of the formal definition of the relationship in the just basic relational model. So in the basic relational model we know that every attribute has to be a atomic, every attribute has to have a atomic value, mean indivisible value. So the requirement of first normal form is that all the attribute values has to be a single atomic values, means the attribute value cannot be divisible. Okay, so if it's like that, the technique to achieve first normal form is that we're going to remove attribute and place in separate relation. We can expand the key or use several atomic attribute. So let's see some example. So in this example, the relational schema of a department is not in first normal form. So here we have the attribute d name, d number, manager assistant, and d locations. We know that each department can have multiple location. So what is the relation state is going to be? Now for example, if research has multiple location, you can see that it is going to look like that. Okay, so we have to actually include multiple locations for department for d number 5. Now d number is the primary key, so we can have only one entry for d number 5, but as it can have multiple location, we have to include all the location in that attribute. Now that's not actually a atomic value, right? That's not atomic value because this value, I mean the value of d location here for that record, it is divisible. There are actually multiple location information. Okay, so it's not just one value, there are multiple values, so it's a divisible values. Okay, it's not an atomic value. So that is not the case for first normal form. Okay, so the first normal form says that only the atomic attribute value permitted are single atomic values. Okay, so another example also we can have, let's say we have ename and SSN. All right, and let's see ename is a composite attribute, means ename is a collection of first name, middle name, and last name. Okay, so for that attribute, if we store f name, l name, and a minute here like that, so say f name comma a minute comma l name. Okay, if we store it like that, that will not be actually something that we are looking for, means we are storing a divisible value for that attribute ename. Okay, so that's not the desirable property for first normal form. So the first normal form, our attribute value has to be atomic. Okay, and also the first normal form doesn't allow nested relation. Okay, means each tuple can have a each tuple cannot have a relation within it. All right, so for example also we can use the same example like that. Say we have a attribute address, and in that address actually we are having a nested relation like that. Say street, zip, state. Okay, it's not allowed. All right, in one attribute, for one attribute I cannot have another relation. The value of attribute can be only a single value. Okay, so how to change to one NF? So if your relation doesn't satisfy the first normal form, we have to actually if necessary we have to decompose the table so that it satisfies the first normal form. So the way to change to first normal form is that remove the nested relation attributes into new relation. So what we can do, we can actually just create a new relation, like taking the primary key. Okay, so take the primary key and take all the attributes of address, say street, zip and state, all like that, and create a separate relation. Okay, and then unnest relation into a set of 1NF relations. So let's see the example. In this example, A is not actually in first normal form, because from the relation state we can see that the value of that attribute is not atomic. Okay, it's actually divisible, it's actually a set of values. All right, so how we can actually change it to first normal form. So the one idea of having the first normal form version from this table is like that we are making d number and d location as a primary key. Okay, so in this table d number is the primary key only, so our d number value has to be unique. So that's why as d number has multiple location, we have to store multiple values for that record. But if we make d number and d location as the primary key, in that case actually every value for each attribute is going to be just a single value. Okay, for example here you can see that we are having actually three different record for d number 5, but the d location is separate for each d location is separate for each for the same d number. So combining d number and d location will be now the primary key. Okay,